Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final of the 2023 Wigan Subscription Classic. The final we have this evening is Graeme Wilson playing Neil Bithell. Graeme Wilson's a 4-7 favourite and Neil Bithell's 5-4. First end, 31 up, as always. Excellent starting ball from Graeme. Would have finished a foot or so over without the jack stopping it. Short ball from Neil. Neil's further with this. Has he even put his own in? Don't think so. One for Graeme. First point of the final. I'm just zooming on the sponsors for this evening. We have Blue Flame, Plumbing and Heating, Maguire's Funeral Care, Eco Battery, Graeme sent the block, playing full corners, which is no surprise to anybody who's ever seen Graeme play. Got an absolutely gorgeous delivery, smooth as it can be. You best not bounce any out now that I've given a big build up. So looks like Graeme's bowl's just finished. Couple of foot past, but he's counting because Neil's short. So this is second bowl from Graeme, just about to come into shot. Finger peg mark. Smooth as silk delivery, gets another one to lie two. Now Neil's further with this, he's given it a bowl a chance. It's just dipping under. Don't think. Yep, 2 for Graeme, 3-0.
already asked him and he said no.
I say without competitions like this, the game would suffer. It's one of the most widely held and respected competitions in an absolute bowling hotbed of Wigan, the Wigan Subscription Club. I do advise anybody who can come down for any of the sessions, the sub-finals or the finals of this to do so. It's a fantastic competition at a fantastic venue. The spectators, £1 to get in, and if you just see there under that white tent, that's the barbecue which has done a roaring trade this evening. Probably had about, well, maybe up to 150 people through the gate today. Just over a yard short is Graeme. This passes it from Neil. Yeah, thumb peg, hardest peg into this corner. Now Graeme just got to pass his own. Has he gone that? Is he gone narrow though? Yeah, can't. Neil just wants to know how far he can bounce Graeme's bowl closer to the jack and still count. Might be considering switching over, go finger peg. It'll be the safer peg for him to get into this jack. Yeah, finger peg, but it's just tongue out. Will peg at the death. No. 1-0. So Neil can't see him going back to the corner. Must try and keep Graeme out of them, really. It's Graeme's strength. So Neil playing thumb peg mark. Just through the gully. That runs that everyone knows who's been here will know. Uphill, then over the crest. Downhill finish, and Graeme's ball just sweeps by. Neil looks a bowl short of a length, and Graeme's gone probably 18 inch, 2 foot past. So Neil looks like he's got a pair with that. So Graeme, is he going full it at it? Yeah, he's going full it. Gets one out. And this competition runs from 3rd weekend in May up until the final, which is today at the 2nd of July. Just have a weekend off for the Isle of Man and everybody flies out. So 31 competition, play 2 games each time you visit. Sub-finals of 1 weekend, and which was last weekend, and the finals obviously today. So competition's over in about 6 weeks. Yeah. So Neil again, good length with his bowl. Scoreboard's in the back, giving you the score of 3-2. Referee for this evening's games is Andrew Molyneux. He's just been asked to give his opinion on who's on. Neil's on. The second bowl's on the way. About to come into shot. Well, he's chipped off his own, but I think it's gone out. So Graeme just playing through the gully, up and over a bit. Still looking at it as Graeme. Just didn't quite peck enough for him. And the level of 3s. First to 31. First prize is £1,000. Runner-up prize of 500. Unless my eyes deceive me.
Don't tell them the numbers on it. 18 because we do all some of the olds on 8 to make it blank. Derek and 18 but don't tell her take piss out.
A couple of foot, maybe a couple of yards short as Neil. Thumb peg, playing towards us is always nice. Graeme steps in, length ball, ball past the length. Straight into the sun now for both these players. If they can see what's going on, Neil's not reached again. Bad end for Neil. You'll know this way. Up through the middle of the green, got to reach. And easy too for a bowler of Graeme's ability. Nice to see Graeme back in these competitions after a couple of years of taking things easy. Obviously he's a rep for Taylor Bowls. And he's sporting one of their latest shirts. Very flash and jazzy. Playing a finger peg mark. Straight into the corner where you come in. That corner normally sweeps down, bit of a downhill finish into it, but they're quite lush grass this year, and it's catching quite a few players out just playing short. It's probably a good couple of yards heavier than what it would normally play. And Graeme's not reached again. So Neil just playing not to hit anything. We don't know. No one signalled. Graeme's given nothing away. Yeah, the Pride of Lancashire playing the Pride of Yorkshire. 2 for Graeme. The second bowler is a bit underneath, but obviously did enough to get the second bowl at the end. And playing once again. Thumb peg into the opposite corner. Just about all uphill. Through the gully now, up and over, through the middle of the green. Levels out a little bit, and then it's up to the jack. And he's put it 4 foot away from a distance of about 60 yards. Neil's finishing short. A yard is called, I think, for Graeme. That's what he is through. Neil's a couple of yards short. And Graeme's took too much out of this. Didn't want to take anything out of his really. Now Neil, it's got to pass his own by a couple of yards. Looks like it's doing it. Good ball.
We should have had the score to the watch.
How is his marathon? He's been coming
Neil's just playing again. They're playing through the middle of the green.
They're not listening to me though, they're not told stand, I told them before.
As you'll see there, Neil's bowl's finished in the bottom of the gully. The jack's another 5 foot past it. Just on the upward slope out of it. So Neil, thumb peg, needs to stop for me. So Graeme, once again, same bowl as his first, or anything just past it. Finishes a length, sweeps down now. Must be 2. Tis 2. And then once again, Graeme, thumb peg into the corner. It's fairly straight, but you've got to be exact with it.
This one, this right hand side. You to the sheet score, clear of the ball.
Oh yeah, I think we can do. People don't fucking consider it.
So it's a length bowl from Graeme. Neil once again, dragon short with his first. Graeme's not short with his second bowl. Gets another, I think, but you would imagine Neil's going to improve with his second. He's passing his first, but he's tight.
Oh, nice.
Goes too far now. (10-4) to Graeme Wilson with this single. And if he carries on with the same tactics as he has been, he's going to go finger peg to the opposite corner. And it's gone, well, probably a couple of yards by. Locals encourages Neil Bowles to run a bit more. No one's on there really. Graeme trotting after this one. Wants it to run. Still no one's on. Well, that can't lose. It's the only length bowl. I think Graeme thinks it's only one. He was going to kick him in, but he must like his own. One for Neil, 5-10. Looking up the club edge. Type of mark that you've got to reach on. Nothing for sure because it's a bit on the lush side, but he won't be very happy with his lead at all. So Neil, bowl to rest on if you're there. He's just tickled the jack behind Graeme's bowl. Graeme can rest on Neil's bowl for another. Just on the safe side though. 11-5. First to 21. Once again, thanks to everybody here, to the organisers and officials of the Wigan Subscription Club. Done a grand job in organising another competition. I say it's a bowling hotbed here, and this is probably the bowls HQ of the bowling hotbed. Finger peg mark, playing just outside the gully, on the bank, it'll fall off it like a fallen mark and then peg a bit at the death. Graeme's not happy with his second bowl. Didn't reach with his first. Was further away with his second. So Neil, furthest bowl will win. Oh, jived off it. 1 to Graeme now. $12.5. First to 31. The local wildlife taking up residence on my camera, which I don't particularly want. And Graeme sending his jack out. One peg, 50-yard mark. To the opposite corner. Uphill and then it quickens up. Neil's on the tight side. Yeah, 2 great bowls from Graeme on this mark. Oh, has not reached as Neil. Cardinalson, don't be short when you're down. 14-5. Semi-finals this evening. Richie Goddard played Graeme Wilson, and Graeme obviously won 31-15. And Neil Bithell played Phil Lee and won 31-23. I see Graeme was the bookies' favourite for this competition. It was a 4-7 shot. Neil Bithell was a 2-1 shot in the semi-finals. There's a 5-4 second favourite in the final. Although I'm sure if you negotiate with the bookmaker, well, that gentleman laying the bets, he'll offer you more than that now. Finger peg mark, almost into the scoreboard. Neil must have finished about 4 foot past. He's been complaining or berating himself for not reaching with his second, and he's gone too far this time. So Neil, only to take barely anything out, just goes too far again. Just on the narrow side as well. 10 in front, 15-5. That gentleman walking in front of the cameras knocked off the autofocus, but it'll sort itself out in a minute. Thumb peg, just finishing 18-inch past the jack is Graeme. Neil needs to run again. He'll peg her now, peg tight. Probably not quite there either. And Graeme's just to back. Neil. Much reach the jack this way. Nothing for short. Nothing for short. I repeat again, nothing for short. Graeme's halfway there to the £1,000 first prize, 16.5. Finger peg to the scoreboard, to the marker. He'll be the closest one to it. Don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, but a bit of a wayward lead, but it is over 60 yards, so it's slightly forgiven. I think Graeme's too far with both. Neil's on with his first. Can he get another? No, it's not the best end they'll ever play. The marker's decided it's only one. He's the closest one to it. Yep, only one. So Neil looking along the edge to, well, the car park edge. This is normally a push to about here, and then it's a bit of a downhill finish to the corner. Though say there is a bit more lush grass there this year, and it's been catching everybody out. Graeme's certainly past Neil's. Neil's second bowl on the way. Passes his first. Does it pass everything? It does. So Graeme lies one. He'll be kicking himself if he doesn't get another. And he's not going to be kicking himself. 18.6. Graeme's in the corner. So he's going to go thumb peg. Thumb peg into the distance. Through the middle of the gully, through the middle of the green. Uphill, uphill, uphill. Keeps moving uphill. Bit of a downhill finish. Well, slight downhill finish, but he's not actually reached the downhill finish, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know.
Neil's underneath, but is almost a length. Clearly closest. Graeme must put 2 yards in his first. He certainly played one. Just underneath the jack, but is closest. Neil's Will it get there? It's on best land of everything. Graeme Wilson, another one. He couldn't fault that land in Neil's second bowl, but he was just a couple of foot short. Yeah. 19-6. Tactics are working well, no need to change anything. Finger peg. Lash towards the entrance where you come in. I think normally a downhill finish into the corner, but lush grass makes it a push. Through the gully, up and over the ridge, downhill to the jack. Probably gone, well, difficult to tell at this angle, but 2 yards over.
2 kilometres away.
One it is to cry, and that must be at least a yard off of Neil's. So Graeme, finger peg, just have to come into the sight with his second bowl. Needs to stop. Yeah, gone too far. Can Neil get another? Needs to start taking advantage of anything that Graeme offers. He hasn't. It's a bit of a no bowl. One of mine. Neil's playing a mark known to so many people who come to this green. From the corner there, thumb peg, cutting the green in half. Uphill apart from where his bowl is, but it's a bit of a downhill to the end of the green, to the edge of the green. Must reach. Bit of a napping mark, and it was a decent bowl of Graeme's, but there was Neil's face was in the way. Neil's second is about to come into shot. Yeah. Not going to be the easiest bowls to beat there. Thumb peg, everything in the way. I'd say there's probably 18 inch to 2 feet between Neil's closest bowl and the jack. Graeme's played at him, trying to take him out. Gets rid of one of them. 8-19.
Right on the ball. And he comes, misses, I believe. If they can it beat him? Can it priest it? Can it beat them from 18? They win it.
No, Neil's playing thumb peg over the crown.
Beating Bithell, still out younger.
Little kiss on the jack. It's a bit of a quick finish actually off the crown, downhill for the last 6 or 7 yards, gentle downhill slope. Can shoot through. And 2 good bowls from Neil. Making Graeme trying to find a length. He's taking a bit out, but he needs to stop. Well, that stopped it. 1 to Neil Bithell. gets him to double figures. He'll lead the jack out to start the next end. Oh no, it doesn't get him to double figures, I can't add up, do apologise. 9-19, ignore that. I might say it again next end. Playing a now. Thumb peg, middle of the green, towards the scoreboard. Probably going 35 yards. It does sweep in, downhill finish. Cut Graeme out, Graeme sweeps by. Gone couple of yards downhill that.
Oh yeah.
Good protecting bowl that actually. Graeme's second bowl on the way. Oh, well, it will certainly save him. And it gets Neil to 11-19. Here's to 31. Should be feeling a bit more comfortable now. Neil's had a few ends with the jack. He's led well. But he needs to keep on doing it. Good lead, put pressure on your opponent. Well, isn't that just a commentator's curse? Led bloody miles off. Probably almost 4 yards short with his lead, and Graeme being Graeme, one of the best players to have played the game, one of the most successful players to have played the game, has stepped in, put it to within a foot. Neil jives off that load of rubbish he sent first bowl. So the pressure he started to apply with having the jack for three ends has been evaporated, and he gets those two back he just gave away. So it's 21-11 as they play. The question now is, will Graeme go to the scoreboard corner, which he's looking at, and he is. If you're ever thinking taking the game up and you're watching this and you're wondering how to play the game, try and get an action like Graeme Wilson's. It is absolutely as smooth as silk. Graeme's played probably a length bowl, over 40 yards. Neil short. Finger peg. Pegs from now. He may have a smooth as silk delivery, but he's not happy with what the two that he sent there. So Neil is on the tight side, not getting any closer now. 2 for Graeme, 23-21. Just watch this action of Graeme's. Taylor Bowles will be happy as well because the name's on the front. Smooth as silk action, perfect balance, easily repeated time and time again. Lead bowl from Graeme, 23-11 up. I keep giving him the build up. Ever since I've said the same, he's got a smooth as silk delivery. He's chucked them a mile off. Well, I may have chucked them a mile off, but they're still counting a mile off.
You're in now.
Graeme's. Is he missing Neil's bowl? He is, so it's a good one. So Neil. He's not short. He's on the narrow side though. Doesn't stop now. Gone a long way that bowl, forget about it. 2 more for Graeme. 25-11, just 6 more points required for victory. Yes, they're playing for first prize of £1,000, £500 less for the runner-up. And it's a credit to the organisers that at times we haven't the present minute that they're able to not only attract but to keep a number of sponsors that have made this competition so special. Somewhere in the distance, Graeme's played his best lead for a few ends. They're probably playing best part of 60-65 yards. Ball swooped round from Neil, but I suspect Graeme's on. Finger peg. Just coming into sight. Will it finish? Will it get another? So Neil just needs to tighten up a little bit. Well, I presume Graeme's on it, with this kind of a distance and this angle, I can't say for certain. Runs into the back of Graeme's bowl. 1 for Graeme. 26-11.
No, it's four. What's the name? What's the name?
You're about to get some very shoddy and juddery camera work because Graeme's put the block a lot further and I think it's out of sight. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, while I bring the jack into sight. Stunningly good bowl from Neil over that distance where the jack is. Still got a chance, this of Graeme's, you know. Downhill finish now. Can it meander down? Can it meander down? Well, the bias might have killed it, but it's flopped the right way. Nothing bowl from Neil. This needs to run like hell to get down that slope. Not doing it. And I don't know who's on, ladies and gentlemen, to be perfectly honest.
Back of them trees.
Measures have been called.
Back of trees.
Billy Sims had to move. He was in mid-story then, was Billy.
What a card going on, Billy.
1 to Graeme. His bowl, he must have him trained because he flopped in.
Looking from me then, Bill, isn't it? Hard to see what we like. On the other side, magic throwing. But for me, I thought
Ball disappears into the distance. Trying to catch up with the jack. But after playing this green on a number of occasions, the lead bowl that Graeme's quite unhappy with is not the easiest to lick. Neil's done it, but still best part of a yard off. It's a long distance they're playing. 27-11, score in the background. Well, Graeme's not reached with both bowls. 1 for Neil. Can he take advantage? Is he far enough to get another? I think the Yorkshire saying would be 1 away. .27 as they play. Just did a shout from the bookie of 10-1 Bithell. Playing through the gully, up onto one of the banks of the gully. Easy to grab short, which is what both players have done. Playing to one side, finger peg drags it through, up onto the other bank. Yeah, 2 for Neil. 14-27. Playing now a finger peg mark. Up to the middle of the green, uphill, downhill from now. Good length, just needs to be half a bowl tighter on the land. Not short is Graeme. He's tighter now as Neil will whip away. I presume he's on first bowl. It's only a presumption. Referee Andrew Molyneux indicates that Neil lies one with his first, and Graeme's second bowl. Not quite going to get there. Ooh. Short when he's down. Mark that one down in your calendar, ladies and gentlemen.
You have as well. A lot though, you have as well.
15-27. And Neil's changed the length again. What he has done, he's gone a reaches mark first couple of ends ago, reaches mark this one, and another reaches mark now because he's gone thumb peg into quite a heavy, well, what would be normally a quick corner, but with the way it's playing, it's quite a heavy corner. Through the gully, downhill finish, not short as Graeme. Well, the jack was in the way. So Neil probably needs 2 yards in his first bowl. Peg sweeps down, needs to run, doesn't run. Graeme lies is 27.15 up, lies one to get to 28. Can he get past Neil's bowls? He does. Makes him 29. He can win at the next end. Just 2 more points required. Local wildlife is settling on my camera again. Do apologise, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Steve.
Well, if tactics are to be followed again, thumb peg, opposite corner, all uphill.
16, 17, 18.
29.15 as they play.
Can he get 16? What you know me, but what you put it now.
Well, Graeme's 4 foot short. I think Neil's beats it. I think that's a yard off of Neil's, and I think Graeme's 4 foot off. And Graeme needs to run with his second bowl. Don't include that one in any equation. So if Neil beats his first, you would imagine a little touch on the jack would be nice, but he's on the wrong side. It looks 2 from here, but say not at the best angle to judge these.
Thanks, Billy.
Measures are required.
13.
No, it was only one. Graeme's was on before that last bowl of Neil's. And this is a mark well known to anybody who's played on this green. Thumb peg along this edge. Bowls can turn at right angles when it's running. And that has turned at right angles, but fortunately the jack didn't. And Neil left a ton of room for Graeme. Turns at right angles, but doesn't go out, I think. Thumb peg must be outside jackland. Well, that's the closest, though it's not exactly close. And Graeme has corrected. He's put probably 2 foot in his first, bit wider, and a swoop down to finish the closest and gets him to 30, 16, all but whatever vernacular you want to use, but he needs one more point to claim the £1,000 first prize. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, just had to lift the camera out of the way of a gentleman who's moving to the exit. Finger peg. Needs 1 point for game and has played his best lead. It's that close, over 60 odd yards. Who's on? Don't know. Probably Graeme. I think Neil's probably been unlucky and chipped the jack over too. Probably lies another with that, does Graeme. Well, Neil, must count. We'll be shaking hands, and we are shaking hands. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 2023 Wigan Subscription, 31 up.
So that concludes the final. The runner-up, Neil Bithell, with 16. But congratulations to this year's winner, Graeme Wilson, 31.
Nearly played about then, didn't he? Nearly played about then. Lovely to see you.
He was bowling like that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the directors and members of Wigan Subscription Club would like to thank all major sponsors and competitors for their help over the past few weeks in making the 2023 Subs Classic another great success. However, we cannot hold a tournament with the longevity of this one without the help and support of you, the spectators, so please give yourself an extra special round of applause. Thank you. By now you must appreciate that this tournament is a very important yearly activity in our calendar, hence the commitment and passion we as a club attach to it. We've been blessed with some fabulous bowling this year, with each competitor showing the true sporting spirit which is so much part of the game of Crown Green. So I'd like to welcome onto the green, but they're already here, two gentlemen who have supported the Subs Classics in previous years and especially so this year. Please welcome Malcolm Preston and Neil Jolly. Without further ado, we have great pleasure in presenting the prizes. Please show your appreciation for the semi-finalists, each picking up a prize of £350. Please welcome Richard Goddard and Phil Lee.
Well ball.
Just photographing easy fellas. Yep.
And now your runner-up receiving a prize of £500. Please welcome onto the green the runner-up Neil Bithell.
Yeah.
And now, winning the Subs Classic for an incredible 7th time and receiving a prize of £1,000. Please congratulate your worthy winner, Graeme Wilson. Well done, Graeme. Would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, well, I'm really chuffed to win this for 7 times. I didn't realise I'd won it 7 times. I thought I'd only won it 5, but it's been an absolute pleasure playing here again. You looked after absolutely fantastically. You've got everything right. You've got the scoreboards, measurers, everything. A big thank you to the organiser David, who's run it for a few years now, I think. To all the members of the club, measurers, markers, bar staff, all the supporters that have come to watch. Yeah, barbecue staff, yeah. The greenkeeper's got the green really in good condition, so big thank you to him. And most of all, a great big thank you to the sponsors, because I don't think you can run these competitions without the sponsors, so a great big thank you to them. And I'd just like to thank all my supporters that have been here today and they've been round with me for the last few weeks supporting me, so thank you very much, really appreciate it.
Well done, well done. Well done, Graeme. Okay, well done, Graeme. Round of applause, Graeme Wilson, your winner. And before we wrap up, just once again to thank everyone for attending this year. Without you, we couldn't do it. So thank you, and hopefully next year we'll see you again. Bye-bye.